Hello, how's it going? I have no idea when I'm going to post this, but whenever you do watch this, whenever this lands on your screen, I do hope and trust that this is helpful for you. If you want to take a deep breath with me, you can take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Hold it, and then let it go. And speaking of letting go, I actually just recorded, like right before this, a 30-minute video about letting go. So I'm not sure when this will be posted, but if I put it in the description, you should definitely check that out if you feel like you could use some words on letting go. Also, unnecessary apology. I'm so sorry for the sweat. If you notice it, I'm sorry for the generally not so great visuals, because I do have a Libra ascendant and I like things to be pretty. I miss making pretty videos. I miss editing with like B-roll and shit. Maybe I'll get back to that one day, but yeah, unnecessary apology out of the way. We're going to pull some cards and we're going to tap into your energy. If you want to take another breath with me, we can take another breath. 1, 2, 3, and then let it go. Also, I'm going to switch up what is in my headphone. I have a headphone in. There was meditation music playing for the last 30 minutes, but we're going to switch it up. I'm going to just listen to some music because why not? Not sure what's going to come out in the cards. I have no expectations. But the first card that we do have is Feather by Think First Before You Judge, which actually, because music is amazing, is like two messages. Because there's a song by Sabrina Carpenter called Feather, where it's basically about letting go of a connection, letting go of someone. Also, if you care, the song that's playing in my head is Stealin' Love by Leanne from Little Mix. Love that song. I love Little Mix. Like, yes, 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 yes. But yeah. The song is about letting go of someone and like feeling lighter, feeling more free with them out of your life. And one thing I said in the previous video about letting go is that like it is necessary to do it with love. Maybe not the easiest thing to do, but it is very it's a beautiful thing to do. Like when you let go of someone, when you let go of a situation, like find appreciation for it and wish them the best. Like genuinely find it in your heart to wish good for them. Even if they like weren't the best person to you, even if they like fucked you over, like what you put out into the universe comes back. And so when you wish other people good, that comes back to you. Or at least that's what I like to believe. The message of the card says, think first before you judge. And intuitively, I would imagine that there's a situation that you're going into. I'm hearing there's a situation that you're going into. It could be a new job, it could be a friendship, or like a business situation. And it looks like one thing, it looks like it could be like a disaster. Or on the flip, it looks like it could be amazing. But either way, 3:33 on the clock. But either way, there is a need, there's an urge, there's a call for you to let go of expectations. Because whatever the situation is not what it appears to be. And a lot of things aren't. A lot of things are not what it seems. Most people who seem to be evil or malicious are just really deeply suffering. And that's a philosophy that I like to hold and sometimes let go of. But like, there's no real such thing as evil. Like, sure, some people get off on the pain of others, but there's no such thing as evil. You know, it's just ignorance. Because if you understood what it means energetically to wish ill upon others, if you knew energetically what that does for yourself and the ecosystem, you probably wouldn't do that. Most likely. But I digress. Try not to judge too harshly before moving into the situation. I'm not saying that you shouldn't protect yourself. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be cautious. But like, don't walk into this making assumptions. Don't make bold assumptions. I personally believe, shout out to the 4 agreements, I personally believe that we should not make assumptions unless it's to consciously create a reality. Like, you shouldn't assume things about people unless it is something that you genuinely want. You know what I mean? Like, don't assume that someone dislikes you unless for some reason you want them to dislike you, you know? If you want a frenemy, if you want someone to hate you, sure. But, like, don't assume that people hate you, because you will manifest that for yourself, I believe. Also, the song that's playing, If You Care, which I love it because I was just talking about Little Mix. I guess because Leanne was playing, I don't know. The algorithm is sometimes very random. But it's a Little Mix, Forget You Not. Harder this easy. I know to move on, I need something to tell you for real. In the club, boy, I forget you now. I'm sorry, okay. That's kind of what this is giving me. The visual of this. Someone who is like taking a solo journey, like moving on from something, and like needing a certain level of confidence. This is the confidence card. It comes with time and practice. And I guess I could say that, like, not making assumptions definitely takes effort. Like, you'd be surprised how quick we are to make assumptions. At some point, maybe unnecessary, but at some point I did this thing as a writer where I would like tell stories about people on the street, like random strangers, like in my head, just like privately. I'd be like, yeah, this person is probably this and that and that. But I only did that as like a writing exercise. Excuse me. I really feel like it's so important to not project onto people unless it's something that you actively want to create. You know, there's no real right or wrong when it comes to creating our realities. But if you wouldn't want someone to make certain assumptions about you, if you wouldn't want someone to control or manipulate you in a certain way, maybe don't do that towards others. You know what I mean? Do unto others as you would like to have done to yourself. And the last card that we have from that deck for now is Throne, number 45. The number 45 might be significant to you. We also have 26 and 23. Take it or leave it. It's the Throne card, and it says your potential is endless. And the way that I'm seeing this visually within the cards is someone who is leaving a situation that was very fruitful, very comfortable, and traveling solo for a while so that they can eventually find another situation where they are fruitful and comfortable. But it does feel like intuitively that this solo part is very necessary. Like, it is really necessary for you to take the time to be with yourself and to love on yourself. Which, now the song that's playing is Little Mix, Confetti, which is very on theme to what I was saying. Like, for some of you, there was a not so useful, not so beneficial connection that you were in. Could be a job, could be a friendship, could be whatever. But it was something that was very draining, something where you did not feel like you could be yourself, something where you did not enjoy being in the connection. And you made the conscious decision to walk away. Or if you didn't make the conscious decision, we could say that the universe, God, whatever, orchestrated it so that you had to walk away, or that they walked away. And it's very bittersweet, but like most bittersweet things, it turns out to be more sweet down the line. You know what I mean? Infinite Spirit, Beloved, Most High, what needs to come through? What information through the cards, please? We have the Five of Swords. I heard something about like a blessing in disguise with the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords, if you don't know, is about conflict. It's about struggle. It's about competition sometimes. And the cat in this depiction is actually blinking. Also, if you see me sweating, once again, I'm sorry. Maybe it's unnecessary to apologize, but I don't like sweating, so sorry. But that's what it's giving. And then we also pulled the Six of Wands, which is like confirmation for that, the blessing in disguise energy. Because the Six of Wands is about victory, it's about success, it's about, winning the fight, And it's after all this conflict and struggle that you faced where you can realize just how powerful you are, just how much you have endured, and that alone is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? We have the Ace of Swords at the bottom/top of the deck as I pick it up. There's definitely a new journey happening. There's definitely a new sense of self, a new sense of confidence that is brewing if it hasn't already manifested. And I think this is partially why the solo journey is very necessary, why it's necessary for you to take time with yourself, because we are very vulnerable. Most of us, I can't speak for everyone, but we usually are very vulnerable when we are transforming and evolving. And if you're not careful, if you're mixing with certain energies, you can definitely be negatively influenced. So, something to be aware of. And maybe you're not consciously aware of it, but it is a thing. Maybe you've had those moments where you're drastically changing in personality or identity, and you find yourself not really wanting to hang out with as many people or certain people or people in general. And it's for good reason, It's so that you can... It's like a butterfly. I can't imagine what it would be like if outside influences could interact with a butterfly while it's in the cocoon, but I don't think it would be a good thing. It probably would mess up its development. Same with a child. If you went inside of a pregnant woman and messed with the child, you could definitely change some things. Also, the song playing now is OMG by Leanne, and unrelated, maybe this is a fangirl moment, but I think it's really funny because she's from Little Mix, and Little Mix also has a song called OMG. I thought that was really cute when the song dropped, but I digress. Basically, this is a song about if I had to summarize, self-empowerment and or maybe that's a bad interpretation. It's very sensual, but I do believe she is talking about making yourself feel sex. I don't know. Anyways, it's a very sensual song. I'm gonna actually change the song. Don't Be So Hard on Yourself is the song that I chose next by Jess Glynn. So, don't be so hard on yourself. Wherever you are in your journey, whatever you have experienced, go easy on yourself. Because we live in a rough world. We live in a cruel world. At times, this reality can be very harsh. And if no one else is going to give you, the love that you need, it should be coming from you. I'm remembering this TikTok, I think it was a TikTok, where this person was I have never, and I might be misquoting, sorry. Shout out to this creator, I hope that they're doing well. But they basically said, I've never had a toxic relationship outside of myself. The only relationship that I've ever had that was toxic was with myself. And everything else was a reflection of that. And when he said that it really hit. It was yes, honestly. Because everything's a reflection. And if you don't treat yourself well, most likely you are not going to find people who treat you well. And obviously there are outliers. There are people that hate themselves so much that it doesn't matter how much love you have within you, they're not going to be able to treat you well. But that's a whole nother topic altogether. Infinite Spirit, Beloved, what is this? Ooh, the Knight of Swords. Hell's a place that everyone knows, so don't be so hard on yourself. No. That's the line that just played. For some of you, this solo trip could be a sort of hell, if you want to call it that. I do resonate with that lyric, though. Everybody at some point experiences hell, or their version of hell. And some people never make it out, but when you can make it out, if you can make it out, it is such a beautiful experience on the other side of that. You know what I mean? We have the Nine of Swords clarifying this confidence card. Intuitively, energetically, I get the picture of like someone who is on a solo adventure and they might be really hard on themselves. I really do recommend, I talked about this in the previous video, I do recommend mirror work. It might feel really cheesy at first, but it can be really helpful to like look at yourself in the mirror. And I find it kind of sad and hard to believe, but some people do have a difficult time looking at themselves in the mirror. So I will say that, and I will like preface that. But if you can like look at yourself in the mirror and like genuinely say like positive, beautiful things to yourself, like I love you, you never deserved that, you are an amazing person, you're so kind, whatever you feel compelled to say to yourself. If you could do that, maybe like for a minute or a couple minutes, or however long you can stand to do it, I think that would really help on your journey, especially if you're in a part of the journey where you are isolating. We have the Two of Cups. There might be someone or multiple someones that you meet while in this isolation phase that are like monumentally helpful to the progression of your journey. And obviously we have free will, you don't have to connect with them, but I do feel like it would be so necessary for you to tune into your spirituality. And I guess I'm also saying this to future me because I only recently got back into like a steady flow. But it would be so necessary for you to get into a practice, get into a ritual of like meditation and silence and like tuning into your inner knowing. Because we live in a very like loud reality. Like there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of distractions naturally. And so sometimes it can be very difficult to listen to that inner voice and to like understand what it's saying and to like be guided by it. The song that's playing now is True Love by Pink, which is hilarious because we have the Two of Cups here, which some people interpret it as like a romantic card, but it could also just be about friendship and like generally getting to know someone. Either way, there's a connection that you are going to stumble upon in the near future that is going to really refresh your faith in the idea that love is real. That sounds cheesy, but like it's going to really renew your belief in genuine connections and like healthy connections. Because with this Five of Swords energy, it feels as though for most of you, you have only ever experienced connections that were toxic, connections that brought you down, that made you feel bad about yourself. And which is why you're in this phase of being asked to, that was a big ass ant, oh my god, being asked to, I wish I didn't like swipe it off like that, but, because I don't know where it went. But you're being asked to like connect with yourself and like lean into loving yourself more. This Two of Cups could be about the relationship with yourself, easily. And if I could interject with my own narrative, I guess, and also talk about the connection that we have with our higher power, I think that's also very important. Like, some people believe that that's the whole point of life, like developing a relationship with God or Source or whatever you call it. We could disagree there, whatever. But like either way, the connection that we have with ourselves is a very important connection, and so I will say that if the idea of romance or the idea of meeting new people doesn't appeal to you, definitely lean into mirror work and self-reflection work and like genuinely like loving yourself, which is going to be more hard for some of us for sure, but it's worth it for sure. And also, this might seem like a drag, this might seem annoying to say, but mental work and like healing is generally a lifelong thing, at least for most people, especially when you are carrying generations of trauma, which most of us are. So it's like you're not just dealing with your own shit, but you're also dealing with the shit of people who came before you, whether or not you asked for it, because you didn't ask for it most likely, but it is a factor. So just saying, like, don't expect to like listen to some affirmations and like do some mirror work and just suddenly you're just like this enlightened like self-love guru. Like, no, that's not really how it works. Like, you have to, like, there's always going to be something to work on or reflect on. At least this is the consensus, I think. What's to be said about this Two of Cups? Oh, that's beautiful. We have the Ace of Cups. That's beautiful. And then we have the King of Pentacles at the top of the deck, bottom of the deck. And so there is somebody who is very stable, and they have the ability to really help you along your way if you accept. And somebody on TikTok recently said, God bless them, that sometimes trauma can be mistaken for intuition. Sometimes that voice in our head is not necessarily an intuitive nudge, but our trauma speaking to us, because of past experiences, because you've been lied to in the past, because you've been cheated on before. It's like, oh, obviously they're cheating or something's going on, but like with the nuance of like we create our own realities and like trauma, like it is very necessary to like think positively. Like, I'm not talking about toxic positivity and like ignoring reality, but like, shout out to the 4 agreements. I don't know if I said that already in this video, but like, don't make assumptions. Unless you're doing it to consciously create your reality, don't make assumptions. Don't assume that things are a certain way unless you're trying to create that. Like, if you want to assume that someone has a crush on you, cool, awesome, I vibe with it. But I don't think it's a good idea to assume that people are disliking you, even if you feel like you have evidence for it. Like, don't jump to that conclusion. Like, unless you have like concrete evidence, and like unless you have something where you can be like, oh yeah, of course this person doesn't like me. They don't jump to that. And then also another nuance. 9 times out of 10, when people don't like us, and there isn't like an obvious reason why, it's not because they don't like you. It's because they don't like themselves, which is so sad to think about. But some people genuinely hate themselves so much that, oh, the birds that was awesome, that when they see someone like you or see someone like us who is genuinely like invested in themselves and in love with themselves, that can be triggering, Also, if you care, the song that's playing now is Just Got Paid by Sigala, Ella Ira, Megan Trainor, I don't know why I said her name like that, and French Montana. I used to love this song back in the day. I think it's a great song to manifest, but I'm also going to change the song because, whatever. The song that is playing now, after the ad finishes, is Diamonds by Tori Kelly. I heard that song for the first time the other day, and I was like, instantly in love. I was like, what is this production? Like, if you've heard that song, ooh, girl, if you haven't heard that song, go listen to that song. I also think the message is really sweet. It's like, Tori is an amazing songwriter. Anyways, what should we watch out for when it comes to this connection? Immediately I'm thinking, like, once again, the trauma voice. Like, look out for that voice in your head that feels more like fear-mongering than intuition, because there is a difference. Intuition generally, also my headphones are dying, Generally, intuition is not something that is scary. Like, even if it is a scary thing, usually it doesn't come with fear. You know what I mean? And obviously everyone's different, whatever. But, like, your intuition isn't going to try to scare you. You know what I mean? But trauma and fear will. So, that's what I intuitively got. But we also have the strength card. And, like, another thing that's coming through is, like, in relation to the strength card, something to watch out for is, how do I say this? The way that you influence this person and the way that this person influences you. Most likely, this is a person that has a good influence on you, but we're all growing, we're all healing, we're all evolving in our own ways, and sometimes we can regress. And one thing that I'm seeing is, like, the possibility of you entertaining bad habits and, as a result, influencing this person to also regress towards bad habits. So that's something to be wary of. Like, it's not a good thing to waver, but I do waver between feeling super ready to be in healthy relationships and understanding that I am still developing a good relationship with myself, you know? And it's like, if I'm not careful, I can definitely negatively influence other people, and obviously you don't want that, or at least I hope you don't want that. So something to be wary of, like, be patient with yourself and others. You know what I mean? Also, I feel like we don't talk enough about how much work and energy truly goes into healing. Like, emotional healing, spiritual healing, like, it's work, you know? And if you don't look at it that way, you're not going to have the best time. Because it is genuine work. The Four of Swords came out at the bottom of the deck as we're, like, closing up. And, like, the Four of Swords talks about rest and healing and rejuvenation. And, like, I definitely feel like, especially if you've been having a lot of heavy emotions, it is really necessary for you to take some time to rest. You might not feel like that on the surface. Maybe you do feel like that. Maybe you're conflicted, whatever. But, like, I definitely feel like it would be super helpful for you to take some time to rest. And, like, stay hydrated. Because it is work. It takes energy out of you, whether you want to believe that or not. And so, make sure to take time to rest. Meditate, get into your spiritual routine, and expect good things, because you are deserving of good things. And the way that I'm seeing this, like, you have good things set up for you. Like, sure, you may have had, like, a rocky past, you may have had bad things from your past, like, negatively affect you, but moving forward, like, there's beauty, there's pleasure, there's wonder, there's magic, there's, like, so many amazing things that are available for you. But I do feel like it is necessary for you to pour into yourself and to love yourself more. Also, if it matters, the last song that is going to be playing in my ear, because my headphones are about to die, is Shelter by Tori Kelly. An amazing song, which is another love song, sort of. A lot of her songs are, like, they do that thing where, once again, I love Tori Kelly. As a non-Christian, I love her. But she does this thing where you could listen to her music from the perspective of, like, talking to your higher power, or your higher power talking to you. You know, it's like a love song from God, basically. That's any music. Like, a lot of music does that, really. You could, like, perspective, whatever. But, like, that is something that I've noticed with her music. Like, it's like, she's talking about Jesus, or she's talking about God, or something. Like, you know what I mean? Anyways, I hope this has been helpful. Hope this has been useful. If it has been, please engage with the video. Please remember to like, share with someone you feel like would benefit from this, or don't. It's up to you. And I hope you have a nice rest of your day, if you want to. Once again, it's up to you. Thank you for being here. Bye!